gonna go get the underwater camera module out of the box. This is a Raspberry Pi camera. It's the Raspberry Pi, I think it's V2, and it's got a ribbon cable, and the ribbon cable we're going to attach to the main Raspberry Pi board in the front electronics box. But before we do that, it's a good idea, after this thing's been in shipping for a few days, to make sure that the enclosure is still nice and tight. You can just sort of try to hand tighten it a little bit. Don't over force it or anything, but just make sure that it hasn't come loose. And a good test that you can do with this end of the camera module anyway is to just dunk it in a little container of water and make sure that it doesn't keep bubbling. So I've got a little bucket of water here. I'll just put it in. It's normal maybe to see a few bubbles come up at first. Actually, I don't see any here right now, but if there's like a little bit of air trapped in the within the enclosure, it might come out when you put it in the water. But basically what you're looking for is to make sure that it doesn't continue bubbling repeatedly, because if it does, then that would be an indication that it's not a tight seal and that water will leak in when this thing's actually in use. So that's good. It's not leaking. So we'll should dry that off. I don't want to get any water in the electronics box, of course. Okay, so we can get rid of the water for now. And set this down and swing the boat around so you can see what I'm doing a bit better. That way. And the rest. Okay. So the pH probe out of the way there. And we can open the front electronics box now. Okay. I'll just bring this over so bring the camera over so I can show exactly what we'll be doing here. So within this, you'll see, oh, okay, there's a plastic baggie, and within the baggie is a rubber gasket and a locking nut, and 4 little, oh, where's the baggie? There we are. And then 4 little screws, okay? So the gasket is going to go on the underneath of the box, up against the box to make it watertight. And the plastic locking nut will be on the inside of the box. And that's what tightens down on the fitting, the tube fitting, this tube fitting that sticks up from the bottom of the box. And the ribbon cable is going to get fed in through this little slot here, okay, in this hat module, this terminal I/O hat module. So we're going to have to sort of pry this hat module off of the main Raspberry Pi board. And sometimes I find when I'm working on this stuff, it's useful just to unplug the USB cables. So I'll do that now, just so that they're not in the way.